I played high school basketball, and one of the things I thought the coach did phenomenally well was he rarely would reward high scorers, but he'd always reward high assists.
Yeah.
And I think that's, continuing with our sports analogy, that's probably about right. Everybody wants to score, needs to score, is going to score. Great. Good for you. Pat on your back. But like the assist, man, that's a tough skill to cultivate. But when you cultivate it, you become the most valuable person on the team. Because now, we've moved from football to basketball, but you just took yourself from being one entity that can score to 5 entities that can score, or can position for a score. And if you apply that to business, like goodness, I'm thinking right now about the people on my team, the people that are good with the assist, like Yvonne, my CTO, started out as my EA. He's the best on the assist. I could do this right now. I would do a thought experiment where I just drop a random problem into Slack. He'll be the first one to be like, I'm on it. It's not even his problem, his job, his department. Just I'm on it.
Love those people like that.
I do too.
That's the epitome of initiative.
Yeah.
For me, which is one of our 5 core values. It's like, those are the people you want. Like, so if you could have a team full of him, like they're out there. They really are. Like, that's one, like not in the way that he does it exactly the way that he does. Everybody does it a little bit differently, which makes us all interesting as humans, But the point is that's a great example of what we're talking about here. And he also knows that when he does that, he's probably going to get positively reinforced. Somebody's going to say something to him, an attaboy. Like we have a whole channel.
I'm brutally mean to him.
Yeah.
No compliments. I just, yeah.
Well,
nothing but like vitriol and hatred.
Somebody's nice to him. I know.
Yeah. It's funny, man. He's become one of my best friends. It's weird how that happens.
Yeah. It does evolve. Like,
yeah.
Yeah. So one of his other lines is, and this is another one. It's in your best interest that we succeed. It's in my best interest that you succeed. We actually really want the same thing. And when I'm hiring folks, I say, listen, like if what Tier 11 offers you is in alignment with what you want, if it's perfectly in alignment, we have a match here. Because what you want is the same thing that we want. We want the same thing. So we're united in that goal of getting the company, obviously, to that next level of success. And success for our customers equals helping them achieve their vision. But in so doing, it helps you achieve your professional goals and your personal goals. Like that's nirvana in the working world. I said, whenever we interview something, like I'm the last person that does the interviews. And that is my line, because I have to find out, like, what is it that just makes you tick? Like, what do you love doing? What could you do all day? Like, what just lights you up about this industry? Tell me what it is. And then what I try to do is align that with, you can take that thing that you love, and if that overlaps perfectly with what we're trying to do here, this is a good match. And if they have all the other 5 core characteristics, ultimately that's going to be a successful working relationship. So one of the things that he does say, and I'll leave you on this in the second part of this, on confrontation is healthy, is that, and I've seen a lot of documentaries on Parcells. I just love Parcells. First off, he's funny, even though he's a Jersey guy, I'm a Massachusetts guy, but we did lose the Super Bowl.
I didn't know that was a epic battle that was raging.
Whole thing there. Although I've got a lot of friends in New Jersey, actually. He says one of the biggest things when players come back to him 10 years after their playing career, they say the one thing that they remember most about him is that one line is when he said, "I think you're better than you think you are." And they say that motivated me more than anything else. And they thank him for that. I think as a manager, that's a pretty powerful statement. If you don't think that about your people, if you literally think like you're lying to your people and saying that, you probably have the wrong person on the bus. So there is that.
Isn't that interesting?
Yeah.
I guess that means that nobody reaches their potential without some motivation, without some encouragement.
I think everybody, yeah. I don't think it's, they say the best people don't need to be led, managed, or motivated, but best people need to be pushed.
I was going to say, I don't think I've ever seen that. I think it's an archetypal truth, dude. Like, Luke needed Obi-Wan,
Mm-hmm.
right? Rocky needed that weird old man in the corner. What was his name?
Nick. No. Yeah.
Was that it? Yeah.
Adrian.
Like you
No,
can't just
Nick.
no, yeah. I think Nick is right. But you couldn't have Rocky just wake up and be like, I'm gonna get in shape now. You need that just what would you call it? It's almost
Guide.
paternal in nature. Guide. Yeah, you need the
You
guide.
need a guide. You need a guide. I always used to say that, like, when I ran the regional sales division for this big, fat corporate 500 S&P 500 company, is that spend the most time with your best people, because they're the ones. No. I'm going to spend all the time with my worst performers. So that's the worst thing you can do.
Mm.
Like, you need to figure out a way to, if they're your worst performers, like, what is it? Is it a training issue or is it a them issue? You need to ask yourself that question, but spend most of the time with your best people, because they're the ones you want to model success and see what they're doing so that you can teach others, first off. But secondly, it's like they're the ones who need a coach. Like, even though Tiger Woods isn't at the top of golf all the time, the big expression way back in the 90s was, hey, even Tiger Woods as a swing coach. Like, even, Albert Pujols, who won like 8 MVPs, had a hitting coach. Name any great performer. Like, Aaron Rodgers has a quarterbacks coach. Like, so did Tom Brady. The point is like, everybody needs a coach. And at the higher level, it's a tiny, tiny little incremental differences. I have a coach. I have a business coach. You have a coach. You have mentors. You have people that help you at a higher level get to that next level. So do you need it as motivation? No. Does it help you get to the next level of performance when you have that kind of input from an individual? And Parcells does this extremely well. Yes. He was coaching probably the greatest linebacker of all time, Lawrence Taylor. Was not Willie McGinnis. Sorry, Patriots fans. But Lawrence Taylor, and even Lawrence Taylor needed motivation. And that's what Parcells did. It's like, oh, you got 14 sacks. Oh, you missed that one, in the Seattle game back in October because you did, the swim move and you should have gone on the inside. You went to the outside. And it's like, like, that's how he would do it, because LT was just this super competitive guy. So yes, everybody needs it. Do they get it? A lot of times, no. But I do think that's the difference between, a high level performance and a superior level of performance when it comes to your team.
And when it comes to us?
Yeah, 100%.
Yeah. Well, I think it's worthy of mentioning here, because a lot of the people we're talking to they're not necessarily at the top. I sold my agency. I'm no longer at the top. I'm in the middle. And so what we're talking about me dispelling should also be the thing that I expect and maybe even ask for. It's like, hey, I need some radical candor for my own improvement opportunities. What can I do better?
Well, I mean, you're going to be entering a new stage of your career, right? Like you're already starting to sort of lay the groundwork for that. I mean, it's going to be in this space. It's like you've checked that box of, hey, I've sold my agency. That's a pretty big box to check. Not many people get to that point. Not many people get to build a multi-million-dollar company. It's like, what, less than 0.5% get to 5 million, and then 10 million. It's like 0.001%. I forget what the percentages are. It's a very, very small portion. And then to sell it, like, you're in rarefied air. So what's that next step? Is it going to be like a Greg Smith who's going to get you to the next stage, or another type of mentor? I know you're part of all these groups, but it's like every stage you need somebody to push you to that next level. Or maybe it's going to be me. Maybe I could just be your mentor.
There we go.
Yeah.
And all you'll take is 10%, I bet.
All I'll take is 15%. We can negotiate that.
Something for everyone this time around. I want to talk to you about the ideal team structure for Google Ads management. And honestly, this is really, in my opinion, probably applicable to most media management agencies. But we'll talk Google Ads specifically. And the reason I say it's for everyone is because if you're interested in a career in Google